असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय
सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतंगमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Good evening. So please see page number 19. These pages contain some of the best quotes or statements of Vivekananda on education. It may not be possible for me to cover all these quotes, all these statements. So I request you all to go through them now and then, so that you will know the purpose, the objective, and the goal of education. So the first quote in the page: education is not the amount of information that is put into your brain and runs riot there, undigested all your life. We must have life building, man making, character making assimilation of ideas. If you have assimilated 5 ideas and made them your life and character, you have more education than any man who has got by heart a whole library. There are 2 statements here. One is education is not the amount of information that is put into your brain. If you just see our education system, what is happening there? From KG to PG, right? From KG to PG, the focus is on cramming the brain with information. What we are doing from very early life is this. Education means cramming the brain with information. So much of information is pushed there. It gets undigested automatically. If you take too much quantity of food, what happens? It creates indigestion, right? The same way, the information, actually you have to process the information, you have to absorb the ideas, and then you have to translate them into action, put them into action. You have to absorb the ideas in the sense that they should help you to mold your personality or character. But if you see our education system, the children, what kind of torture they will have to undergo. Assignments, unit test, monthly test, quarterly test, 6 months. And of course, there is so much of evaluation happening. And teachers are in a rush, they are in a hurry because they are given the syllabus and they have to complete the syllabus in that definite period of time. So they are in a hurry to complete the syllabus. So, and also they have to ensure that the child has studied that. The process, what is happening is always you get preoccupied and you become busy accumulating the information into your brain. So much so that you will never get time to think and reflect and absorb the ideas. We are not allowing the time for the child actually to absorb those ideas. So it becomes undigested in the brain. So much of information is loaded into the brain and clarity of thinking will go. Education system, that's why it is destroying the natural intelligence of human being. That's what the psychologists say, modern psychologists. The education, instead of helping the individual think clearly, it is doing the reverse. It actually clouds the mind. Because you have cluttered your mind with so much of information, you can't process that much of information to your advantage. So the consequence of it is this, that the information that you have gathered is not at all useful to you because it has not transformed into ideas and you have not absorbed those ideas. And that's the reason you see sometimes educated people, even to solve simple problems of life, they get confused, they become panicky. And whereas an uneducated person, common sense is very much intact. Because his brain is clear, because he has not muddled the brain with so much of information. An uneducated person's mind is clear. Sometimes you find this common sense is intact. Sri Ramakrishna used to tell a story. So our education system, how it is, I think you can understand better in the light of this story. And he did not go to school, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Vivekananda's great guru. His brother insisted that you must go to school and you must educate yourself. He said, no, I don't want to go to school. As a small child, he told, no school for me. Why? His brother asked, I don't want this livelihood-oriented education. Clear. Because of he is an incarnation of God. It was so clear. If I go to school, it would destroy my brain. He was sure of that. As a small kid, he was sure of that. And then he said, I will not go to school. So firmly he told his brother could not compel him. Why you won't go to school? Because it is only livelihood-oriented education. I will not get any clarity on life with this kind of education. It will not help me to transform myself into a great human being. It is worthless in every sense of the term. And that's why I will not step into the school, he said. Nobody could compel him. Nobody could force him to go to school. And that man, that Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, created Vivekananda. Vivekananda sat at his feet and learned the lessons of life. And the man who moved the world, okay, even he is moving it now. Vivekananda's power actually still is going on, and it will go on for another 1,000 years. Vivekananda said, I have given message for 1,500 years. He just lived 39 years. Where did he learn his lessons? From whom did he learn his lessons? From Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Who was he? He did not go to school. He did not go to school. As an original man. And Vivekananda said in 1899, I think probably, he said, 3 universities in this country together in 50 years could not create one single original man. That is our education system. 3 universities together in 50 years could not create one original man. Why? Because this. Education is not the amount of information. Cram the brain with information. You must allow time for the child actually to process the information. Otherwise, it is destructive. It is destructive. The natural intelligence gets destroyed. Sri Ramakrishna tells this story. There was a boatman. He used to acquire the livelihood by flying people across the river. So one day, a pandit, a scholar, wanted to cross the river. He approached the boatman. So boatman said, yes, I, Panditji. So the scholar got into the boat. Midway through the river, the scholar, the pandit, started engaging the boatman. He asked the boatman, do you know Sanskrit? The boatman said, sir, I'm illiterate, I don't know Sanskrit. And then he asked him actually, do you know Sanskrit grammar? No, sir, I neither know the language nor grammar. First, when he said that I don't know Sanskrit, then 25% of your life has gone a waste. The second question, do you know Sanskrit grammar at least? No, sir. Then 50% of your life has gone a waste. And then he asked him, do you know at least scriptures? Have you read scriptures? You may not be knowing Sanskrit, you may not be knowing Sanskrit grammar. Do you know scripture? Have you read any scripture? No, sir, I have not read any scripture because I am an illiterate man, the boatman said. Then the scholar said, 75% of your life has gone a waste. Then suddenly there was a storm. There was a storm. The boat started rocking violently. So the boatman thought of actually controlling it and saving it, but he found it out. This is a severe storm. It's not possible to save the boat, and boat is going to sink very soon. Boat actually got capsized. And then he asked the scholar, "Sir, do you know swimming?" Then the scholar said, "So I don't know swimming." And then the boatman said, "Sir, 100% of your life actually is a waste." The boatman jumped into the river and he swam to safety, and the scholar got drowned. Today our education is also like that. It doesn't help us actually to cross the, river of life. It doesn't help us to face the problems. It doesn't help us to, solve our problems or, any other things in life, whatever the actions. What is the purpose of education? It should help us. It should empower us. When we are in difficulties, we are in troubles and misery, it should help us to come out, to overcome them. But it doesn't really empower the individual. That's because Swami says it's not information. It must be character building, man-making education that we want, man-making assimilation of ideas. So through education, purpose is character. Once you have character, livelihood will happen anyway. You don't have to be hurried for that. You don't have to worry at all. Don't be in a hurry and worry. Education is only for the sake of character. Have character and everything else will come to you. Sooner or later, Swami just says, stick to truth. Success will come to you, maybe slowly, but surely. Hold on to that, okay? Thank you. Nice evening.